I know my chance with her is blown, but my mouth gets carried away. I'm tongue-tied, tongue-tied, tongue-tied.
What up, IDS Mob? Harry Wilmington here. And today we're talking about the 5 moves to avoid making until she makes them first. In the dating realm, I have found that there are some moves that when a man makes these moves first, it seems like too much too soon. It applies pressure. And more importantly, there are moves that signal a level of growth in the relationship that if she's not there yet, could sabotage the whole thing. But when she makes these moves first, it lets you know where she's at in terms of her growing feelings for you, and it's going to allow you to progress at a pace that is more comfortable for her rather than you making it feel like it's a whole rush process. So we're gonna get into those 5 things. As always, guys, if you have a question you'd like answered to one of these shows, you can write me at harrywilmington@gmail.com or leave a comment below. You can also go to introvertdatingsuccess.com and sign up for one-on-one coaching if you're going through a situation and would like my help. Let's get into this, all right? So this is in no particular order. These are just 5 things I found in my personal dating experiences have led me to believe and realize that these are moves that women should make first rather than you making them first. So first one I have marked here is asking for weekend dates. These are your Friday and Saturday dates specifically. When you first start dating a woman, you should be taking her out Sunday through Thursday. Now, why do you want to do that? The reason is because subconsciously, Fridays and Saturdays are dates that are reserved for when you are in a couple with somebody. So again, it's a subconscious thing. You may not have even thought about it, but when you ask a woman on a Friday or Saturday date, you're signaling to her subconsciously that you already view her as the woman that you've chosen, to the point where you now want to take her out on those days that are reserved for couples. The problem is if you're not in a coupledom yet, or if she has not yet suggested those days, then that's a move from you that could signal things moving too fast for her. And then unbeknownst to you, it can cause her to start being a bit hesitant or eventually weaning off. And again, when I first heard this, I thought it was complete BS, but I found that I was able to make my dating situations with women progress a lot faster when I was asking them out on dates that were Sunday through Thursday. And then around like the 3rd or 4th date, they would come along and say, hey, so, I'm free this Friday or I'm free this Saturday to do this thing. At which point that now gives me the lead to know, okay, she's starting to view this more in a progressive relationship, and she's starting to have more feelings for me, because she wouldn't suggest dates or days and times that are suggested for couples only unless she wasn't starting to feel that way, all right? So you want to leave out Fridays and Saturdays in the beginning until she starts mentioning it. That's going to be a very good barometer for you on her growing feelings for you. The second move not to make until she makes it first is suggesting that you guys meet each other's friends and family. Meeting a woman's friends and family to her is a major step, because she's been through enough guys to know that most of these people that she's meeting aren't going to be like people she ends up with long term, all right? So at the point where she actually is ready to take you around friends and family, that's a huge sign that she sees you as a guy that could potentially be with her on a long-term basis. So when you as the guy, after like 2 dates, says, hey, come to this thing and meet my friends, you're thinking it's no big deal. She needs to meet my friends so we can see if they have a good rapport and stuff together. But doing that action, or bringing her around your mom and your dad because you just think they're so cool and she's gonna have a great time meeting them, that to her is a big deal. In her world, she would not dare invite you around friends unless she absolutely saw you as the person that she's chosen. So when you ask this early on, she's thinking, oh my God, he's already chosen me, but it's only been like 2 or 3 dates. It's been 6 hours of conversation. This is not enough time. I now feel pressured for this to have to be a relationship, because he's doing a relationship thing by inviting me to be around friends and family so early on in the process. So the best way to squash that altogether is to wait for her to do it. Now, it takes a woman 2 to 3 months to solidify her feelings for you, at which point she'll come to you and start asking about relationship stuff. At which point, when you guys become boyfriend and girlfriend, that's around the time when you should start looking to her to say, hey, come meet my friends, come to this thing, my family's gonna be there. And that could easily be another like 3 to 6 months. Like you could be legit the boyfriend at month 3 and not meet the friends and family until month 6. But again, That's totally fine. She might need a little more padding time before she really feels that you're going to be around long term. Because you could get into a relationship on month 3, and then on month 3, day 1, you do some crap to mess up, and then you guys are broken up. So she might need a little bit more time to really feel like you're really going to be around, at which point she of her own accord will say, hey, I want to meet your friends. Hey, I want you to meet my friends and family. Can we set that up? All right? So let her do that. All you got to do is worry about asking her on dates and having her show up to spend time with her. And also, it's good in that first 3 months to just have it be you and her so you can really build the foundation of your relationship without any interference. Because once those friends and family come around, they might say something about you, and it could be the difference between you dated for her for 3 months, and so you guys are solidified to where, let's say one of your friends says something off color you did back in the day. Well, she's already in love with you. She's already your girlfriend. It's not going to bug her. Versus after 2 dates, that same story could be like, oh, this is part of my vetting process, and this is now a red flag, and I don't want to be around. So like, just save the friends and family for when she mentions it. All right. The third move not to make until she makes the move first is discussing feelings and a relationship. Now, when you are going through the dating phase, it's important that you are doing actions that show the woman that you care about her. But it is not your job as the guy to really verbalize that stuff. And some people might think, but Harry, that's sexist. Like, we should be able to, as guys, we should be able to verbalize our feelings and blah, 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 blah. Well, look, you can do whatever the heck you want to do. I'm just telling you from personal experience and from the guys that I've coached. When they start talking that I have feelings, I love you, blah, 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 and they're only like a month or 2 into dating, women get turned off. So you can do what you want. I'm just telling you what the effects of that is, which is that until she starts verbalizing that she also has feelings, that she feels strongly for you, that she can see a future with you, all you are doing when you say that stuff is applying pressure to her to feel those same things. And that's the thing, is that we're going to get to these feelings a lot faster, but women need to develop to these feelings and get to them in a natural way to where they feel like the feelings that they're having are of their own accord and it's their choice. When you come along and verbalize, hey, I have feelings, hey, we should be in a relationship right now, what do you think of me? That is making her feel pressure and force, at which point it no longer becomes her decision, which now can actually turn her off. So hey, as long as, and sometimes guys do that because they're thinking, well, I got to get confirmation that she likes me. Dude, if you're asking her out on dates and she's saying yes, and she's showing up, and she's not flaking, and she's hooking up with you on a regular basis, if that's something that's been added to your dating life situation with her, then you're good, all right? All those things where she's showing up on time and doing those things and touching you and all stuff is letting you know that she's building interest. And when her interest gets to certain levels, she'll start saying certain things like, hey, I really enjoy my time with you, or hey, I think I really have strong feelings for you, or hey, I want you to be my boyfriend. So you won't have to verbalize that, but more importantly, you want to wait for her to make that move first. And then even when she starts saying that stuff, when she starts saying I love you, when she starts saying I care for blah, 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 you want to keep it at a 3-to-1 ratio. And much in the same way that basically for every 3 nice things she says to you, you want to say 1 nice thing. But you're going to do the reverse with actions. For every 1 action that you do, ideally, well, for every 1 action that she does, you're doing 3 actions that are showing the like and care for her, okay? So let them, they're the ones that can get away with the verbal stuff a lot better. I'm sorry it is that way. The caveat, you might meet some women that are verbal people, at which point you can say a little bit more, but even then, you save the verbal stuff for when you guys are actually talking about getting into a relationship, okay? But during the dating phase, you wait for her to say that stuff first. You do not bring it up. Do not bring up feelings. Do not bring up wanting to be in a relationship and how, why can't you just be with me now? Like it's all, you're not gonna get away with it, dude. I'm telling you, it's just not a good look, all right? That's the third thing. The fourth move not to make until she makes it first is initiating in between date text. And this is where a lot of you guys start to falter, is you want to do all this texting in between dates. You want to take her out on a date, show her a good time, and then when she drives off, you want to text her, let me know when you get home. You want to text her the next day, just want you to know I had a good time on that date. You want to text good morning text. You want to text just to text. And I'm telling you guys, doing all of that is turning her off. Whereas you take her out for a good time, and then you go away for a few days. One, you can wait to see if she texts you, which will indicate, again, we're trying to get indicators of interest here. So when you go away for 4 days, knowing you're gonna talk to her on the 4th day to ask her for another date, and she hits you up before that, that lets you read that she has a budding interest in you, okay? But more to the point, I have talked to more than enough women to know this, is that they don't actually like all those in-between date texts. They want a guy that they assume is out on his mission when they're not in each other's faces, and that is going to hit her up to ask for a date. All this extra texting is not necessary. But more importantly is that realistically, when you're in a relationship, it's going to be good. Again, 3-to-1 ratio. For every 3 texts that she initiates, you're going to initiate 1 text. Hey, babe, just thinking about you today. Hope you have a good day. But women that have high interest in you can't help but reach out to you. But you got to leave space for that to happen. But the point is that yeah, these in-between date texts, we want her to make those moves because it'll give us a read on where her attraction is, and it'll allow you to get her out on more dates if she's hitting you up, okay? But if she doesn't hit you up in between dates, that's fine. You know, after that day 4, you're gonna hit her up again for another date. But what I'm saying is that you wanna make sure that she's making the move of doing this in-between date text, not you. Now, some of you might ask, but if she's not texting me between dates, then how do I know if she likes me? When you hit her up on day 4 or 5 to ask for another date, and she says yes, that lets you know that she's still interested, all right? Very simple. And then the 5th move not to make until she makes it first is talking about negative past experiences. I do not need you to trauma bond with another woman in an attempt to try to build some kind of like relationship with her. The reality is that even a woman that's been through a lot of trauma, she doesn't want to have to talk about trauma on a date. She wants to go out with a guy that's going to be fun and jovial and lively and makes her laugh. And you trying to bring out your sob story and attempt to match with her sob story, whatever it may be, like that's not a good way to bond. So let her be the one if she needs to bring up a past experience or vent or whatever. You ain't got to bring your stuff up. Like, I'm not saying never bring it up, but I'm saying for those first few months of dating, if she needs to talk about some stuff, that's fine. Don't think that you can then do the same thing and it's going to be taken the same way, because it's sad to say most women, when they're telling you those stories, are looking for you to be the strong guy that they can lean on in case that they have other stuff happen, and that you're going to be there to listen to them and lend an ear and be able to say, hey, it's all good, it's okay. But that doesn't mean she wants to now have you turn around and share your story, because women don't quite know how to comfort in the same way we do. And hearing your sob story about some crap you went through and yada, 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 like, it's not the worst thing in the world to tell a woman, except for that it can turn them off. Like, and I don't want to be the guy to say, hey, as a guy, you can't ever let a woman know about some negative stuff that happened or what you overcame or yada, yada, yada. But I'm just saying what the effects are of doing that, especially early on in the dating process, when she hasn't gotten to know you and when she hasn't got to build a bond with you as an overall strong leadership type of guy. Like, all it's going to do is make her think, wow, this guy like is kind of weak. And I'm sorry, that's the viewpoint that they have, but it can be. So leave your negative stories for later on down the line, when, you know, if she's going through something extremely traumatic, and say, hey, you know what, I went through this thing too, and you can talk about how you overcame that thing. We don't want you still wallowing in your trauma, more importantly, okay? But yeah, if she brings it up, let her be the first one to bring up any kind of negative stuff. You be the guy that's bringing positivity and light to your relationship situations, all right? So hopefully, guys, this helps you out, and you'll know now what moves to not make first when you're trying to build these attractions and these relationships with these women out there, okay? For more tips like this, you can join my Introvert Dating Success Membership Academy at the website. It's chock full of lessons that'll teach you how to meet, greet, attract, land, and keep the woman of your dreams. You can also go to the website and click on the coaching tab if you'd like my help, one-on-one phone consultation about a particular situation that you're currently going through. I've been helping a lot of guys lately, and I love helping you guys figure out what's going on so you can get to the position in your dating life where you're be able to keep the kind of women that come along with you, all right? Lastly, guys, my friend Nan Juan has an album coming out on February 10th called No Girls For You. It's based on the book of the same name that I wrote many, many years ago about how not to date. And this character, Nan Juan, he is unlucky in love. All of the songs are talking about how he can't get women and things he's trying to do to get them, and it is absolutely hilarious. You can listen to the first song called Tongue Tied, which is available now on all streaming platforms, as well as you can click that in the link below to get to that. And yeah, we got a music video coming out for that on the same day as the album release, which is February 10th, and it's a hilarious video. We got a nice little guest star in there as well, so be on the lookout for that on February 10th. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Harry Wilmington, and I will catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace.
When I see a hot girl, my tongue gets twirled. I don't know what